Eugene, Dublin Bay Cruises and your sailings on the Liffey and the Dublin Bay. Tell us a little bit about the product.
Yeah, we started in 2013 on. I mean, there was nobody doing what we're doing. There is nobody doing what we're doing. So we're connecting the city centre at the convention centre to Dún Laoghaire and Howth every day. That's one aspect of our business. That's for national, international tourists. Okay.
Great.
The other aspect of our business is corporate, which is very, 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 very substantial part of our business. So that's corporate outings, getting to know the staff, bringing out some customers, clients, a lot of that. And we have a bar and catering on board for that. And then the other aspect of our business, which is growing all the time, is transferring people, tendering from cruise ships like we are today from the Queen Anne into Dún Laoghaire Harbour. So we do a lot of that as well. So it's a varied business now, but we're still all week, every week, we're still connecting the city to Dún Laoghaire and Howth.
Yeah, and just looking at the tourism element to it, what's the split between the domestic market, Irish holidaymakers, and say international visitors, and where do those international visitors come from?
Okay, so when we operated out of Dublin up to 2022, about 75 to 80% of passengers were international passengers.
Yeah.
Okay. It was the flip side in Dublin. So it was basically about 25. This is up to recently now, a couple of years, and certainly up to COVID and after COVID. About 25% of our tourists were international. The rest were domestic from around the Pale, basically, or tour operators. So with the help of Fáilte Ireland, Tourism Ireland, who I've been working with for many, many years in the west of Ireland, but now in Dublin as well, that number of international tourists is increasing. There's a few reasons for that, Owen. One is that there is more of a focus on natural attractions, natural destinations, natural venues. So if you take it, Fáilte Ireland are operating and trying very hard to promote Dublin tourist, the Dublin Coastal Trail. Okay.
Of course.
And there's quite a lot put into that because there is a demand out there now for, a lot of people are aware, particularly Europeans, are aware of their carbon footprint as they fly across the sky. They're more aware now of their destination. And if they can justify or nullify some of their carbon footprint by going to an area, a region, or an attraction that is that they can help to support the sustainability of that region or that attraction, then they get some value out of that carbon footprint.
Yeah, and of course, Dublin Bay is a recognised biosphere, isn't it?
It's a UNESCO biosphere, and that status is extremely important for Dublin and for the region. For number one, for its wildlife. Number two, for its heritage and culture. And number three, of course, because now being a biosphere or a geopark, it has the added attraction of that protection that status gives it. And all people that live or operate or work within that are becoming more conscious of their responsibility and their ability to help sustain that biosphere.
Yeah, and you're obviously passionate about the environment and about sustainability, and you kind of you do what you preach as well, because haven't your vessels moved to hydro-treated vegetable oil recently, which obviously reduces the carbon footprint of the ferries?
Yes, it reduces it substantially. That and other actions we've taken reduces our carbon footprint substantially, up to 90% switching from diesel fossil fuel to HVO. But yeah, I am passionate about this, to be quite honest with you. I suppose as you get on in life, you become more passionate. But I did come from that region of the Cliffs of Moher and the Burn Geopark, where we were active members of that geopark, that Burn Geopark and Cliffs of Moher. So we learned a lot from being involved in that down through the years. So I'm helping and doing my best to bring that awareness to Dublin Bay and the Dublin Bay biosphere.
Yeah. And tell me, what sort of customer feedback do you get, Eugene?
Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal, to be quite honest with you. We're only a couple of months into this now, and we're seeing a huge feedback, especially from the corporate world. And if you have corporate tourism coming in, into like what we see is if Balch Ireland and the Convention Centre, for example, if they promote the Convention Centre with an aspect of sustainability, we find that, you know, if you have a lot of delegates coming with spouses, and they like to get, you know, some activity for spouses or whatever, and we find we get a lot of that. And especially, like, if you get a tour operator, or you get a group, or one of their questionnaires is becoming more and more visible in that they're asking you for your sustainability policy, or we're almost gone past it all now about policy. It's about actions, that you have verifiable actions. And that's why this year we have gone the full hog. We've gone away from fossil fuel 100%, which reduces, we won't know for a few more months, but it reduces our carbon emissions by up to 90%. We've got rid of all plastics off board. So now it's either bottles or cans. The bottles are being recycled. All of our recycling, we have Board Namona on board now. And all of our cans are being stored and taken away by Renew. And there are 6 charities benefiting from the value of those cans from Renew.
Yeah, wonderful. So, I mean, you're certainly a leader in that environmental space, and of course, it just enhances the experience, doesn't it, for the tourist or the corporate customer?
It does. And you know what we find, Owen, is when people travel with us, we don't travel in bad weather, by the way, but the East Coast is much friendlier than the West Coast when you're traveling at sea. So, I mean, the West Coast today, for example, is quite wild, but it hasn't been for the last month. They have got a great run in May. But today, for example, it's wild down the west. We're sailing in Dublin Bay. Dublin Bay, the prevailing winds are always southwesterly, which shelters Dublin Bay. And, you know, when we bring people out for the first time, either national or international tourists, either Irish or international tourists, they're just amazed and in awe of the beauty that surrounds Dublin Bay, whether it's round towers, whether it's lighthouses, whether it's whole cliffs, whether it's Dalkey Island, whether it's Killiney Bay. Like, there's so much to see out there. And people, like, it's difficult to get the good word out, but Balch Ireland are increasing their efforts to do that, and through Tourism Ireland out to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I must say, Dublin Bay, it's a wonderful natural asset that we have as a country, and congratulations to you, Eugene, because you showcase it at its best. Best of luck with the season ahead, and wish you every success.
You're very welcome, and thanks for the call, Owen, and the best of luck to you.
Thanks, Eugene.